Hey guys, we're gonna do a behind the screens tour of Knott's Scary Farm, so we're headed to the secret entrance. So now we're inside and things are already starting to get spooky. Oh. Oh.
Emerge from the fog! Last one, 1, 2, 3, last.
Oh, this is so cool. We must be like in the Goreing 20s scare zone. Like back here is, I'm guessing where it's gonna be with the like Charleston Circle Gazette and this music. We've got kind of this like prohibition vibe to the soundtrack, but it's also like droning, like really creepy. At Behind the Screams, we're gonna learn more about the mazes, scare zone shows, and monsters. So like this food is supposed to be for display. We're not actually supposed to eat it, but like it looks really, really good. And I might just like.
Oh yes, I saw that. It's a Philly cream cheese crab sushi. Oh really?
You have a really great, like, spooky narrative laugh. Like,
Oh, do I?
Yeah. Ominous.
Now I'm thinking about my laugh. Is that my laugh?
Hey you guys, this is Eric Nix, and he is actually the producer for Scary Farm. So all of the creepy, spooky things, this guy is the one who brings it all together for you. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, are there any Easter eggs in Mesmer, in the new maze?
So Mesmer itself, like when we come to the table and we think about what we want to bring off the shelf or what we want to design and fabricate, Mesmer really helps to support the story of Carnival. And so he is just a sideshow talent that has set something up on the outskirts of this evil carnival that's happening. And so it really sort of ties that narrative together for us.
It seems like the longer a maze has been around, the more likely it is to have Easter eggs. Is that correct?
That is correct. And you know, it also, our designers have a ton of fun finding those through lines, you know, infected, paranormal, even origins to some extent. They all tell the same story. They're all happening in the same location. So the longer they're around, we'd like to throw more goodies in there. So inside Dark Ride, when you walk through the maintenance bay that's in there, you'll see actually binders, and they're all labeled, and they're referencing other mazes that we've built here on farm before.
Wow, that's so cool. And that would make sense because it's like in that maintenance area.
Absolutely. In 2019, we introduced a new scene in Dark Ride, which was kind of like a security room. There's actually footage that pops up on the screen. Some of that is, it looks like news footage, and it's actually from the infected attraction. So it's the news reports from
like, walking past that. I didn't catch that. That's
and I think if you hit a button, if one of those buttons, it'll trigger something that from, I think it's the commercial or some of the interstitials from the Paranormal Inc. Attraction as well. So yeah, they're all kind of self-referential, and yeah, we love the Easter eggs around here. I think Origins itself is one giant Easter egg towards with nods to Calico and to Ghost Town itself. So you've got you know, the Haunted Shack is where all, you know, basically where the witch is living. She's living underneath it. The hanging tree, which we do have a hanging tree in the park, but underneath the hanging tree, that is basically where her lair is. So like, it's all this sort of back and forth. You can actually see in the Haunted Shack portion of that maze, there's Sinister Seymour sitting up on a chair, like, you know, as a nod to the Haunted Shack as well. So yeah, that's another good one. It's definitely in that Haunted Shack area.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us,
No
Eric.
problem. It's been so much fun.
Oh, I'm really excited about this year.
I just like nerding out about Scary Farm, so this is great.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to nerd. I like always love to nerd. Anything Halloween, but especially Scary Farm is like.
Me too.
This is Bill Meier, and he's the wardrobe supervisor for Mesmer.
This is the Lucinda costume. It was built from scratch in our shop.
Wow.
So,
like,
and you can see, go ahead and take a look.
Oh,
this
I can
skirt,
touch it.
yep, you can touch it. It's basically, it is built to last. When we build a maze costume.
It feels very like sturdy.
It is very sturdy. It is built to last. We build a costume to last in a maze for 3 to 5 years at least.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and it also has to, if you think about it in a maze,
Yeah.
you've got somebody they're standing in their place in a hallway, basically.
Right, yeah.
So they do a lot of brushing up against the wall behind them.
Yes.
A lot of just rubbing up against things, snagging things.
Yeah.
That's why we use things for mazes that are a little bit heavier duty, a little bit
Thicker fabrics.
thicker fabrics.
Oh, this is really like nice and like, yeah. Like it's not thin.
No.
It doesn't feel like it's going to come apart at all.
Again, completely different than the fabrics that we used for the Goreing 20s costumes over there.
Okay.
So again, you'll see in the Mesmer costumes, we've got all sorts of wild patterns. Everything has been over-dyed, over-painted.
Yeah.
They're sideshow characters that have been there for a while. Their costumes, everything is lived in. Everything has been, nothing is fresh.
So that's why like you guys have like little stains and things
yes.
on them and like
And
to dirty
actually,
them up.
It's funny you should mention that because after we built these, we then had to turn them over to a different set of people. They had to go through and then ruin them. Basically destroy them, exactly.
That sounds like a really fun job, like to take something and just like,
You know, I think she had a good time for the first couple pieces, but then when you have to do that through the entire maze,
then it gets old.
she'd had enough. Yes, exactly.
Then you're like,
She'd
I
had
don't want to
enough.
do this anymore.
This character over here is the Nether character.
Ooh.
The
a
Nether
creepy
character is a
mask.
reoccurring character in the maze. Like you go through every scene, you'll see him after that.
Okay.
Custom masks that were built in our shop for this character.
Wow. I love the little like scratches here, almost like someone like tried to pull it off of themselves.
Yes, exactly. The only bit of the humanity of this character that you're going to see are his arms. When we asked them to, if they could hire guys that had stronger arms, bigger
like
arms,
big dudes.
exactly, for this character, and that's the one element of them that you actually see the performer on.
Just like see if like you can see my eyes through it. Ooh, spooky. Hey guys, this is Tim Barham, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the costumes for the Goreing 20s because he's the costume manager.
Hi, welcome. So really exciting. We're doing a new zone this year, and it's called the Goreing 20s. We went back to our roots because that's the area that you're going to be in, which is the Roaring 20s. So it's going back to our roots. The exciting thing about this was we went into history and we found some great characters that were really fun that we were like, we can bring this to a whole new level.
Specific characters, does that mean these are based on actual people, like historical people?
There are a few.
Interesting.
So that's really exciting.
Can you tell us, or is it like?
We're gonna let you come experience it and find out who they are.
Okay.
But there's some really great characters that, when we dug into the history, there was some things that were cool. Like the Prohibition was some of those things. So there was there's some levels to this that you are not going to experience anywhere else. So we've created new class structure. So if you look at the costumes directly behind us, we have some new class structures. So we're showing different. Absolutely, please touch it. We want to show. So we've done different levels where you have the people who are going to the blind tiger, the people who are working the blind tiger, and the people who are working outside of the blind tiger on the street. So everybody's trying to get into the blind tiger. So you have to know somebody to know somebody. So there's part of that story. You got to be somebody. So there's a bouncer who's going to manage that door, and if you're not on the list, you're not getting in.
You guys, like, I wonder. I hope we're all special enough to get in.
So it's Prohibition.
Yeah.
People are trying to get their drink on. They couldn't find it, so they started doing that bathroom hooch, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people got poisoned from it.
So did anybody like vomit or like?
Well, we haven't gone to the vomit side, but everything has got. If you've noticed, all that metal on it. That's because most people were poisoning themselves with metal by trying to get their alcohol.
Oh,
so we
wow!
coined,
So that's why we have like the kind
Exactly.
of like those kind of shiny stains. It's
Those
like the metal
shines-
poisoning.
metal poisoning.
Wow. I knew that people had like bad like low grade alcohol that was getting them sick, but I didn't know that about the metal poisoning. That's interesting.
And so we phrased something in the shop called moonshine metal. So if you look behind us, you'll see that color palette walking through. So you start to notice colors.
Like bronzes.
All the bronzes, so you can identify it, and it just helps tell the story.
Totally.
So as you can see, there's the coppers, there's the rust, there's the bronze. So everything has that overlay to help tell the story.
And that rust also gives us that kind of like decayed feeling, even though it's like
Decayed,
metal. Yeah.
old, and a little bit of shimmer, which you gotta have the
You gotta have
the
sparkle
sparkle.
for the Goreing 20s.
It's the 20s. There's always that sparkle that was in there. So there's some really exciting elements that we're creating.
Yeah.
We're taking some of those elements that we did during Ghost Town Alive and bringing it into the scare zone. So there's moments where you as a guest get to be a part of what's happening on the street.
That's so awesome. Since it's based in the 20s, is it anything thrifted, or do you guys buy new things that are kind of call back to that era and then adjust it?
Well, we did a little bit of both because there's some really wonderful things out there from the 1920s.
Yeah.
But for this dress, we built it from scratch. We looked at some patterns and we created it from scratch. This is one of our flower girls. So on purpose, we found fabrics that mimic what they were doing. So both my flower girls have some form of flower print.
Yeah.
So we were looking for that. For this particular one, this is our ingenue. She's fresh from the farm. She's come to the big city. So we put her in a little plaid to say, this is my best dress going to town.
Yep.
So she wanted to, with a little scarf to just say, I'm traveling.
So cute.
So she's head to the big city to try to make it big in the 20s. So
Aww, and then things don't go so well.
Don't go well. Doesn't go well for her. Then you also have like our Newsies, standard 1920s stuff.
Very fun.
All straight from those. We built them because specifically for this particular character, he's one of our sliders. So completely different fabric choices and how we build it, because we know they're going to be
sliding
really
around
sliding
everywhere,
down. They're going to be a lot of aggressive energy from that. So we needed to do that. Unlike our pretty flapper girl. This is our jazz singer who's just standing there to be, she's our distraction.
Yeah.
The whole goal is you're like, oh my God, that's so pretty. So you start noticing that and you don't see the guy behind you who's going to get you.
So like this is a sign, you guys, that you're in danger.
100%.
This is not just like, oh wow, so pretty. This is like, you are in the danger zone and you maybe should run or look
when
over
you
your
start
shoulder.
watching the sparkle, something's going to get you.
Something's
going to get you.
Well, that's amazing. It sounds like you guys do so much of your own construction on these costumes.
We have to. There's not a catalog that says Goreing 20s, 1920s dress with silver. Oh, I'll take two.
Yeah.
There's not a book out there. So everything that we're looking for is if we can't find it, we're going to build it, and we're going to make it build for a long time, because we're going to have a zone for a while. So we want to make sure that it's going to last. We're going to make it so it's adjustable from year to year, because these people may not come back. So we're making choices to make them real, true costumes.
That's amazing. You guys are doing a fantastic. I'm so excited to see this in action.
Thank you. It was really fun for the first time for us to see it all line up, all 62 costumes, because we were only seeing bits and parts and sections. So when all 62 lined up, I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, this is going to be amazing. I'm super excited for it. Like, this is a whole zone that we've never done. We've not been in this element. We've never gone this nice and this high level. So I'm so excited to see this out on the streets. It's going to be really exciting.
I am too. Like when I first heard about the concept, I'm just like, this is going to be cool.
I think people are going to just really dig into it.
Yeah.
It's one of those areas where it's not hide in the shadows and jump out.
Yeah.
This is going to be an experience where you get to just kind of be a part of the entire experience as you're walking through.
Exactly. Well, and I think that's one of the things that Knott does best, especially even with the Ghost Town, is you guys have that kind of like old vintage feel that
100%.
just like plays so well into like this kind of a concept. And now you have like an area, because this feels very like Hollywood in here, that it's just it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's just the perfect lay for this area.
Yeah.
We've normally had a few mazes, we've had ideas that would tie into the main show, but we wanted to create its own entity, so you get to have another experience in this land. It's gonna be really exciting for people.
Thank you so much, Tim. This is amazing, and I honestly, I sincerely can't wait to see it in action.
I can't wait for everybody to come out. It's going to be a great zone, a new addition for us here at Scary Farm, and you're going to love it.
Got the store all to ourselves. This is so cool. Oh, I don't think they had these when we were here before. I actually like got one of these stickers and it's like on my water bottle now. I'm really excited about the Goreing 20s. Oh my gosh, I didn't see this hat. Tales from the Crypt. Just what you want, like on your fridge when you're about to eat like a bunch of cockroaches. That's funny. Oh, but this is like probably the most like glowy shirt. Like if you really want to glow in the mazes, like the cockroach shirt is like, you will light up like a candle. Oh, and I also have one of these, which is like actually on my hat today. I don't know if you guys can like see it. It's like glowing. So that was some of the food, some of the costumes, and we got some insights on the Easter eggs. I'm really excited for this year, you guys. Let us know in the comments what you're excited for. It's getting spooky around here. I better get going. But yeah, let us know.